vestibular crud. The only model that shows the vestibular apparatus is this one. So where was the vestibule again? Where was that? In the middle. It's right here. So I look in there, I see two big sacs. So, the top one, the one closest to the cerebromuscular canal, anyone know what that one's called?
Superior or something?
Nope.
Vestibular apparatus.
Nope. Utricle. We all know this. Utricle? Utricle. And the one that's below it, that's kind of where the sac is the saccule. The utricle and saccule are the two things in the vestibule. What are they for? What's inside of them?
Fluid.
Fluid along with what? Rocks. What are called the rocks? Otoliths, ear rocks. That's where the ear rocks reside.
So if they're only in a little sac, how do they get all over the place?
They don't. They shouldn't. They should stay there.
They only have a small space to know
yes.
where... Wow.
All they gotta do is fall.
Well, they're just little teeny tiny.
They're little teeny rocks. And they're 90 degrees apart. So no matter which way you tip your head, one of them will fall. So, kind of gee whiz. But those are the utricle saccule in the vestibule. All the other stuff listed there about the otoliths and all that are on the diagrams in your book. You can't see the otoliths. You can't see the crista ampullaris or cupula. Those are pictures in the book I could have you diagram. But they're not on the model. So basically when you see that, you're done with the model stuff.
So how did people realize that we have rocks in a sac? Like, how did you guys find that out?
Dead people. You cut them up.
Oh.
Medicine exists because people got sick and died. Really. You don't know anything about normal people. You just know about dead people. Breathing was discovered by the Roman gladiators. They figured out that the higher up I cut your spine, the less you breathe. Galen knew it in the year, what was it, 52 BC. He knew that breathing was somewhere above right here. Because I just watch people kill each other and I can figure out who's breathing still and who's not. Gladiator games were fantastic.
And weren't they allowed to like dissect the gladiators? Like if they're still just like a little bit alive, they were still. Yeah. But once they did, they weren't allowed to touch them.
You can, it depends on who you were.
Yeah.
You couldn't cut up a citizen. That wasn't allowed. So anyway, do okay on body parts. Let's do some slides. That ends the model, so let's do some slides. Let's go back. Okay, so this is not an ear, right? I don't see triangles, I don't see snails. So what is this? When somebody click it, what is this?
Nose.
Nose, also known as olfactory area. So let's figure out how I know that's a nose. Well,
a lot of hair.
Well, yeah, let's look up here. We're going to zoom up to the top.
Oh, it's so weird.
What do you see along the top there?
Hair.
Hairy things. Remember from lecture, we have hairs in our nose, hairs in our tongue, hairs in our ear. This is not an ear, and it's sure not a tongue. This is my nose. This is the olfactory epithelium.
Are there any Golgi bodies in
You mean goblet cells?
Yeah.
Yes. So these are my olfactory hairs from my olfactory cells. So what do you think you call this guy here who doesn't have any hair, but is kind of hanging around, helping out? He's a supporting cell. That's usually a blanket term for anyone that doesn't have a hair. So that's a supporting cell because he's just helping. He's a helper. Okay? Support. Let's go back to the bigger picture. Okay, so that's the olfactory epithelium way up yonder. What do you call all this goopy looking funny stuff down here? These look like glands, don't they?
That's weird.
What kind of glands are in your nose?
Mucus.
Mucus, aka snot. So the glands are below the epithelium, but that's the epithelium. These are the glands. That's my nose. So if you can look at that and say olfactory and kind of name those three things, you got it. Because in theory, you already know about the olfactory bulbs from the brain, the olfactory tract, the cruciform plate from last term. That's all supposedly reviewed. You okay on the slide of nose?
Can you repeat the three things you want us to know?
Olfactory epithelium,
Yes.
olfactory hairs,
Okay.
mucus glands. I'm kosher.
So do you have a diagram, or are you going to diagram the cruciform plate, or you've got?
If I was really mean, I'd just bring out an old skull and see if you could find it, but I'm not that mean yet. I'll have to go downstairs and get a box and try to do it. I have other things to ask you other than finding the that point. That was so last term. Well, let's do another one. Okay, this is not a nose. How do I know this is no longer a nose besides just let me click stuff?
No glands. You can't really see
It's
that.
got different glands, and
Is that patella? Is that a tongue?
that's a tongue.
Cool.
Notice how the tongue looks different than a nose. Right? Nose is straight.
The muscle.
And remember your tongue was stratified from last term, the nacho effect?
Yeah.
Look at all that thick skin on top of your tongue.
Okay.
So my tongue is a thicker layer than my nose for a different reason. So that would be a tongue. So what do we call bumps on the tongue? What are those bumps? What are they? Papilla. So then you have to describe what kind of papilla. You're supposed to know 3 kinds. Filiform means stick-like. Fungiform means toadstool. And circumvallate means circles and valleys. So looking at these. What shape are those?
valleys.
Eh.
No.
Filiform. Those are sticks. They just stick straight up. Those are filiform papilla. They're sticky looking. Let me show you a one to contrast. Look at the guy in the center-ish over here. You go up, and then you get kind of a fat little head on you. Gee, that looks like a toadstool. So which one's that?
Fungiform.
That's a fungiform.
So they're interdispersed on the
Yes.
epithelial layer. Okay.
Yes, I
What
can
was
show you
the
in the time.
circumvallate again?
I'll show you. This is fungiform, toadstool, mushroom, whatever. Let me give you circumvallate. This is circumvallate.
And do they
Circumvallate means a circle of valleys. So you have a center, and then you have a little valley on each side.
So how's
How's
that
that
not a toadstool?
Yeah.
Is it the valley?
The valley.
Okay.
So the trick you want to look at is notice these little light areas. Those are the taste buds. They're on both sides of the valley. On the other ones, they're just on the one side. They're not on both sides of the valley. So that is a circumvallate.
So do the different papillae do different tastes?
No, they do not.
So what's the point of having different papillae?
I didn't build you. I don't know. It's just the way you're built.
Not my fault.
Not my fault. I'm not God. You
Goodness.
cannot blame me for this.